The coronavirus pandemic has crippled the airline industry across the world, but Dubai-based Emirates Airlines is hoping to rebound by resuming passenger flights out of the UAE to 9 cities beginning Thursday. And they will be the first regular non-repatriation flights out of Dubai since March 24th. CNN's John Defterios joins me now from Dubai International Airport. Good to see you, John. So talk to us about the passenger experience first in the airport.
Well, I have to say, it was worthwhile for me to come in and take a look at what passengers are faced with and the new normal, with, if you will, for travel. It's quiet in Terminal 3 now, but they actually loaded 2 flights going to Europe, one for London earlier and then to Milan. And then we had a flight going to Bangladesh for repatriation, as you were suggesting here. And the new normal is plexiglass, for example, at the check-in counter. It's the same thing at immigration, social distancing in all lines through the airport. We were on airside as well. And the first port of call when a passenger comes into the terminal is to go through the thermal screening to check the temperature. If it's high and it doesn't come down, the Dubai Health Authority actually steps in and determines whether you can travel or not. And a very different experience for the cabin crew. We came at sunrise and sat in a cabin crew meeting to get a sense of what they're faced with. And really, there's going to be barriers between the passengers and the crew for safety. It's a whole new experience. Let's take a listen to that. You'll be donning a visor and a robe, but it almost feels like you're working in a hospital, not in an airplane itself, huh?
It probably will feel like this. Yeah, it's going to be new for me too, so I'm excited to see how it'll feel. But for sure, it'll feel very different than before because, yeah, you'll have all these measurements but just to be safe. So I feel like it's only a good thing and very positive.
Elizabeth Krause, a member of the crew for EK001, going to London. That'll be going out daily from this point forward. Also on board, again, this is a new twist to the travel experience. One member that'll be on board just for sanitation to clean the washrooms and keep the cabin clean. Unusual. Box meals only. That's the name of the game at this stage. And those who are frequent travelers or business travelers, things they can walk in at 90 minutes before a flight or up to 2 hours before a flight. That is not the standard anymore, Rosemary. It's 4 hours before the flight now as we try to rebuild the travel experience and have all the safety precautions met before going through the terminal.
Of course, you know, it is new for everyone, isn't it, as they try to sort of feel around working out what to do. And it's one thing to resume these flights. It is another to fill those seats with passengers willing to fly during a pandemic. What has been the reaction so far?
Well, we were tracking the flight to London, as I noted, and then also to Milan. And the report back from Emirates Airlines that we had 30 to 50% capacity, depending on the class. I would say that's not bad for the first day and those who wanted to come out of the gate to start. And I also think it's been very important for Emirates here. It's sending a signal to the outside world. If there's anybody that's going to lead the process, it'll be us, because they're so dependent on the carrier. That air travel represents about 30% of GDP that feeds into the Dubai economy, finance, trade, tourism, business exhibitions. It's all very important. So I asked the chief operating officer of Emirates, are they willing to set the global example, and why so eager here in May to get out of that starting gate? Let's take a listen.
It is very inevitable and clear that the aviation sector is very important to any city, to the growth and the economy of any country. And being here in Dubai makes it more important because Dubai and United Arab Emirates rely on the tourism, rely on the flow of people coming in and going out. So Emirates launching this flight to restart, to give confidence to the people, there is a good and a green life. We can't be all locked in one area. So we're starting this, but we're starting it very carefully with discussion with everybody, and we're taking all the measures to launch services. People are wanting to move, and we would like to facilitate for that.
How do you rebuild trust? So you can see the markers, the plexiglass, the distance when people checking in, same thing at immigration, hygiene kits. Is this restoring confidence? Is that the primary motivation at this stage?
I think we need to accept that we need to start adapting to a new measure in our normal day-to-day activities. Look what we're doing. Look how we are keeping distance. So there will be a new way of implementing certain hygiene or sanitization processes. Now, by doing this kind of thing, we want to reassure our staff and want to reassure our customer that we are implementing these measures to enhance the sanitization, to enhance their safety, and to ensure we are implementing a proper measure for social distance. And we are giving them certain kits for measure, for mask, for gloves, for sanitization purposes. That is to reassure and remind them, do it and use it.
Adel Al-Rida, once again, the COO of Emirates Airline. And by the way, they had 157 destinations before the coronavirus set in. Rosemary, they're starting very gingerly with 9 here and want to establish the bilateral ties with governments to begin opening them up by mid-June in a much more aggressive way. Back to you.
Yeah, baby steps, right? And take it very carefully.
That's a good way of putting it.
John Defterius, many thanks. Appreciate it.